Hey everybody, it's Bust with Battles with Bust number 658. Today we'll be doing battle with Vanessa. And so, welcome back to Battles with Bust. I know it's been a long time since we've been able to get videos out with regularity. I feel like I got two out over the over the course of the past month, and I'm hoping to get that regular cadence of videos coming out here in the near future. And so, if you want to hear a little bit on channel updates, that's what I'm going to be doing next. If you want to jump into the draft, feel free to skip ahead with the timeline below. And so, yeah, with the channel, it was just a real pain. Nothing bad happened or anything, but we ran into a blizzard out here in Kansas City. We had Christmas. We ran into a little bit of sickness with the baby, and then I had a family event, and all of that stuff just kind of hit back to back to back to back to back, and it really got in my way of being able to crank out these videos. And so it seems like the coast should be a little bit clear in the upcoming months. Hopefully we can get back into that regular cadence here with the full drafts. And so with these full draft videos from the beginning to end, about an hour, hour and a half long video, I'd like to do 3 a week. I might only be able to do 2 a week, but 3 is ultimately the goal. I'd like to have it kind of separated out from patch day. So if we have one on like Friday and then Monday and Tuesday or something like that, I think that would be ideal because I think there's a lot of benefit in these full-length videos as opposed to just seeing what decks got 10 wins. And my history of playing drafts in Magic the Gathering and then playing Expedition in Legends of Runeterra, people are just ultimately super, super shitty at drafting. Like even the people that you'll see at the top of the ladder over the course of, say, like the standard ladder, most of them were just ultimately dog shit at drafting, but they were able to carry themselves through draft style of events because their technical play was just so strong. And so with Legends of Runeterra, or I'm sorry, with the Bazaar here, I feel like there's a lot of value in being able to just have these full runs that go all the way through, get a little bit of detail in what's happening in the draft, why we're doing stuff, places that you pivot, and just a little bit more than, well, start with double barrel or finish with Trebuchet and some other stuff, right? It's like that stuff in the middle is so much more important to where if we're playing like constructed Magic, that part would just be going and grabbing a deck off of the internet. And so hopefully we can have a little bit of help there. Also gives you that spot to learn about, deviled eggs and old people stuff. And so we'll try to keep that in the mix. And so that's the main thing I'm looking to get some consistency with. Outside of that, I am going to continue to post the shorts of 10 win videos. I don't know if that shows up in your feed or not, but that has been a realistic way to get some of this useful information out there without me having to make a full hour-long video to do it. And so I try to get that final battle for the 10th win, showing either 9 or a 10-win run as much as I can on those YouTube shorts. And so outside of that, one last thing is I haven't used Twitter for a long time. As soon as Legends of Runeterra kind of died out, I really kind of gave up on Twitter. I'm looking to get back into it with the release of the Bazaar. It's just another great place to post those final win run video kind of things. And so it's very easy to just take a screenshot of your 10 win final screen, put a little caption on it, and slap it up on the old Twitter. But I don't want to use Twitter anymore. With the change to X was kind of meh, and the stuff with our owner here recently, I'm double meh. And so just going to get kind of spaced away from it now since we aren't currently using it anyways. And I'll be posting all that stuff over on Blue Sky. And so the FTP Bust accounts over on Blue Sky, will post it there. And then I also still post stuff to the ftpbust.com site when I get the chance to go around and do that as well. But I like having that social media presence on something like Twitter or Blue Sky because it's so easy to just like get to that 10th win screen, hit print screen, and then post the image of it. You have that that acknowledgement of the solid run out there with a little bit of commentary on it, and it doesn't take a ton of effort. And so it should be a nice little compendium of information, if you will. And so with that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into battle with Vanessa here. This is the Charge Light patch, if you will. The previous patch being Charge Full Tier. Everybody get your Puffer Fish and your Ballista together. Get them in their Infinity Charges. The patch for Charge Light has hit with this. And I've been ultimately pretty happy with it up to this point. Nothing seems super obnoxious right out the gates. And so the problem I feel like you had in the previous patch was that shields were so good that you weren't able to play damage-based builds or play burn-based builds unless it was something super scaling like Ballista or super fast like Sniper Rifle. And so the potential for more, good stuff, weapony type builds is here, and then the potential for good stuff like burn type of builds really opens itself up in this patch. It's just like a step slower, right? You don't have to do as much damage, and you have a bit more time to do whatever your build wants to do. And so ultimately, it's been pretty good. And so with this start here, the world is your oyster, the world is your pearl, whatever you want to call it. This is a lot of really good stuff to kick things off with the gates. Lang Zang at the start is quite good, just getting that scaling opportunity right from the beginning. Double Barrel is, of course, quite strong as well. And then whatever aquatic piece you want is here. If you're wanting to go poison, the upgraded catfish is out here. And then if you're wanting to go for more infinite charge kind of things, the pearl is out here. But for me, I'm going to kick things off with the double barrel. It's just what I like to do. This is the bust aggro deck kind of thing is going to come out of the double barrel, and so that's where I personally have a preference for wanting to start. So we'll kick off with it. Not going to jump into medium items. I really like running through these early stages, ensuring that we hit level 2 by the time we get to the PvE round, and so we'll just keep it for luck here at the start. Look for a different shop a little bit further down the road. And not worry about trying to dig up a cannon or something here in the beginning. And so with these, I do like the Kyber drone. If you pick up a Lang Zang at this point, it's not great, right? It's so far behind that you don't really want it, but getting things like the critical strike or the cooldown reduction or the slow skill, all fairly reasonable stuff. And so decent chance of getting something that we actually want to hit here. And so CDR onto the double barrel, not that bad. All right, into the next set. This is tough. We're going to have to take the experience point on the next round if we want, and so we're really kind of limited in what we can get on board here. I do like Finn's Big Bite. Getting that 5 regen will carry you through a lot of shitty weapon builds on day 1, but we're currently a shitty weapon build, right? We're going to deal 160 damage with our double barrel and never be able to kill anybody, and so I think we're kind of stuck just going into Midsworth, hoping that we can get some decent items out of this round. These aren't particularly good, but it is stuff to fill out our board. And so we'll take the Narwhal, we'll take the Shoe Blade. Not super interested in Chimera at this point. And then we have a couple of other useful items out here in Revolver and Piranha. And so we'll go ahead and sell off the cooldown reduction leaf to make sure we can get these other items. And then hopefully we have an experience point on this next battle. Yay, it's a crate. Good stuff. Get our level up. We'll see if we get a good weapon-based skill here. Left eye is not terrible, but I would rather have flat crit across the board or something that deals damage. And so we'll take the roll off of this. Hopefully we don't completely miss. We land on right eye. Yeah, not what we want, but it is essentially the same thing. So we'll move the double barrel over to the crit zone. Jump into battle with this level 1 dually. All right, it's good stuff. Yeah, man, with social media on mine, social media on the topic, I just listened to a book about Gen Z and how like the depression and large attention issues are all running through Gen Z. And it all basically came about with the release of front-facing cameras. Like, it was insane how it went. Like with the information that they were putting forth. Like millennials, such as myself, we were in that group of people that like the iPhone and smartphones came out probably when you were in college, maybe when you were in high school age still, but for the most part, that wasn't something that you really did, and it wasn't such a integral part of your life. Oh god, we fell apart at 17 with the opponent at 17 health. That's a bummer. But with the release of front-facing cameras and Instagram and Twitter and just being in your face all the time, constantly just having notifications happening in your pocket, something absurd you currently get a notification once every. It was under a minute, I believe, is the kind of commonality of receiving notifications if you don't turn them off. And just having that anxiety, the FOMO of missing a notification or something popular that one of your friends posted that you didn't. And then the filters on Instagram making people pretty. And so the Like, the average person that was in your high school class looked average, but now when you sign into Instagram and put filters on your pictures, average person is now above average. And so when you look at yourself in the mirror, you just feel shitty about yourself. It was super, super brutal. I feel like very lucky to have missed out on all of that nonsense, but it was like really on the mind as we kind of swept through a lot of the social media things here and the changes on where we're hanging out and what we're doing. And so it's tough. It's a tough world out there. You don't realize it when you're getting past it. Just being a boomer such as myself, I was trying to think of like what social media space I would feel good in. Here we're just taking experience points on stuff, and it's like, I want something to replace Twitter. And there's not a ton of stuff to really do it. Here, I think we can win both of these battles, but the Covetous Thief has a lot of upgrades for us. And so it's like I don't want, like, there's not like fast stuff on Reddit. I don't like Reddit anyways because I hate how a lot of the communities operate. Like, definitely not using Facebook. I'm not using Instagram or TikTok. And so it really just kind of like limits what's out there. And I think I just kind of had the realization that I'm just old. It's like the world has swept us by. The world has swept beyond me. I'm just fucking old out here now, and not up with the times enough to find a social media site that works. And so it's tough. We're gonna fucking lose this round too. This is brutal. I didn't realize our build was so bad at this point. You usually tear through this stuff with the double barrel, and I was just kind of assuming that we were gonna do fine because we have all these weapons out here, but this is brutal getting savaged on that second round. All right. Well, it is what it is. I think that we'll stop talking about social media, jump into Finn's big bite. You could just try and roll a small weapon here, but we're going to level up before the PvE round. We'll have an opportunity to spend money on the next go around. So we'll just take the big bite here. We would have beat a lot of those opponents earlier with big bite. I'm kind of curious if we wouldn't have just done better, right? Instead of using these trash tier weapons that we have out here, if that regen would have just carried us hard enough. But with this, we did spike nicely with the level up round. I think the level ups are still a bit off tune. The same spot as in the last patch, to where bronze loot is like 90 times better than get bronze item, and then sometime you find something out here nice on the edge, and that something nice here is good. We get the 10 gold out of the Forged Fortune, so that's nice. Give us a little bit of something to spend at Midsworth, right? Don't want Lickit, don't want that 3 regen. Got to come out here and pick up some good items, and so fairly garbagey. Do want Silencer. If we continue down the path of something with double barrel, a single item double barrel build with Crow's Nest is fine, even if it's just a go wide kind of thing. The Silencer can still be useful. So we'll keep that. We'll pass on these slow dum-dums. Not super interested in it. I saw the big item turn up. Was hoping it was Crow's Nest. It was not, and so bit of a bummer. I'm not super interested in picking up a silver tier cove. We're just not going to have the sales to push through that to make our money back. And so, ooh, that's rough. That was a rough round. And so, like, I'm at least kind of interested in doing something like this, to where we have the chum on board with the double Piranha Narwhal, and so they at least get to deal a little bit of scaling damage in terms of generating these crits. Still feels like we're super weak out here, but I mean, it's at least some kind of upgrade, right? Just out here, just bringing the Piranha builds. But yeah, losing these early rounds against a brick buddy, we're pretty fucked. We have no way to deal damage fast enough here. But I was gonna say, losing these early rounds with Vanessa is a huge pain point. She's fine up through about, round 12, maybe into day 13 if you're high rolling with your enchantments and stuff, but she's never winning on day 14, day 15, and so having these early losses is a real pain in the ass. We've really missed out on what should be fairly easy wins. Now this dually is pretty far ahead. Like Brick Buddy, Barrel of Fun, whatever those things are called, are still quite strong in this patch, especially in the early days. But we didn't get good stuff early in terms of leveling these up. All right, though. Onward and upwards. No gumballs today. Let's jump into the weapons. Hopefully we can get something good. Definitely on board with moving to Trebuchet. I think this is where, the build, we're kind of stuck hanging on to double barrel, I think. We've seen no other upgrades, no like ammo items, nothing to really push us in a different direction. And so I think we're going to be on like single weapon double barrel with the crow's nest or a trebuchet double barrel build. And so having the trebuchet turn up is just critical to having that one piece of the puzzle come together. Still take the piranha upgrade, shitty item, but we need something, right? we gotta get good somewhere. An interesting collection of things. And so I'm not opposed to say maybe using submarine, trebuchet, and then say like captain's wheel. Captain's wheel in this patch is changed to where it doesn't have charges, but it gets its cooldown cut in half if you have a vehicle. And so having submarine on board with a 2-second captain's wheel is pretty good. Otherwise, these are good generalist items within the cannon and the hand axe. I'm just leaning towards this submarine. It's like if we have captain's wheel, submarine, trebuchet, and then double barrel as the last item, and we pick up, say, like a double barrel ammo upgrade thing, then I think we should be fairly set. I think I like that 4-item build. And so how close can we get to this thing? You know, we got to have enough money, right? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 gold that we can sell. 9 if we got rid of our silencer, so we can get to this. Let's see. So we get rid of shoe blade, piranha thing, box of chum, grenade. Kind of want to hang on to revolver more than piranha. Pick up the submarine. It's gonna attack faster than the other things. It's got that 3-second cooldown and activates the trebuchet faster. And so hopefully that looks good. We can get some aggression coming out of this submarine. When the level up comes, we can level up the bronze item in the trebuchet. I think we're in decent shape here. So good, no money. Lost crate turns up. Get that gold, get that EXP. See if we get a battle we can win. We can't just throw any of these battles away anymore. We gotta be strong coming into these. And so I think we can beat the rogue scrapper. He's not a super scaling type of opponent. The trebuchet and submarine should be good enough to take it down, and then winning something like junkyard club would be pretty good. Rust is always good, so maybe those will pan out. Even hitting on scrap wouldn't be terrible if we're able to run with the submarine out here. I've been interested in submarine builds. There's a couple of like silver tier skills that turn up that are based on vehicles. There's one that when you use a vehicle, your items get 10% crit for the round. There's another one that if you have a vehicle, it gives your non-vehicle weapons cooldown reduction. And there's just not a ton of vehicles in Vanessa's kit. And so it's an interesting item to have running around with those skills that pop up on level 4, level 5, whenever you hit that first silver tier round. Alright, medkit, that's a bummer. Alright, upgrade to bronze tier. Here we go. Get that trebuchet online. Now, this is different now, right? I think it's tough that you can't see the upgrades hit. I know that the damage and the burn changed. The charge is just flat now. It's just 2 seconds across the board. I think the cooldown drops as it hits gold and diamond, though. I think it goes down to 8 seconds at diamond. That might be inaccurate, but I think that is something that has happened. All right, moving forward, though. Looking good. Let's just take these chocolate bars. I think our gold will be fine at this point. Just take that permanent 50 health over 4 gold. Now sells skills. Well, we'll see if we're still preaching the same tune. Interesting. Improvised weaponry should be quite good here. When you crit, your weapons gain 5% damage for the fight, just giving us scaling without putting a weapon on the board. Oh, good deal. I forgot the medkit was going to sell for 4. So definitely on board with the improvised weaponry. Don't have a ton of crit right now. Only the submarine is bringing it forth for us. I guess we have a little bit of crit on the revolver, but hopefully that turns into something useful here.
You should know.
All right, up to battle against a fellow legend. They added in the rank portrait things in this patch, and so it's very interesting to see how this goes. He's got a bit of scaling out here, a bit of burn. I think we're probably going to get burned out of this one, but he doesn't have anything like Brick Buddy to keep his health up. He's still looking faster than us. Yeah, he got up to 90 burn right here at the end. I was looking at this stuff like Alpha Ray and Uzi don't really fit within the build, but the remainder of what he was doing was pretty strong. All right. Good old bust video. Kick things off 0 and 3. Let's see if we can't recover somewhere from here. And so I think with this, we just want to go to the docks. We don't really have any money. I will say we haven't seen it turn up, but I like to buy star charts early and often. It lets you go to the docks and get that Vanessa orb, that Vanessa option, to where you get 5 gold and 1 experience point. So having an additional avenue of experience is quite good. But don't have it here, can't use it. We'll just take the weapon. It should sell for the most money. Magic carpet. Maybe it kind of fits in here. We've got that crit and the improvised weaponry. But up next, I don't really have the money to go to tools. We could go in and buy like the captain's wheel if it falls, but we can't re-roll. So we'll just take the abandoned crate for the money and the experience. Experience is still so strong in this patch. And then up within this next set, I think we go to the Blood Reef Raider. Gives us that potential to pick up a crow's nest. Which might be the item that we actually want, or at least at this earlier stage, we could pull the double barrel out for a crow's nest if it picks up. Also, things like this ammo stash are quite good. Your leftmost ammo item gets 2 max ammo. Lets us keep shooting with that double barrel, which is just doing nothing at the moment. Got its 160 damage in and called it a day. Oh, there was a crit. I saw all of our numbers go up. That's how you know you're doing good. You see those numbers go up. That's how you're winning at life. We should be good to go here. We'll definitely win through the sandstorm. See what turns up. Cool, the ammo stash. Beautiful, beautiful. So we'll have to either move or get rid of the revolver. Definitely want the stash on the double barrel. Up next, interesting things like heated shells. Not going to be like a full ammo build in this, I don't think. There's definitely a world to where we go like bigger into ammo, put in like a cannon or something, and I could potentially use it, but I'm not a huge fan of heated shells. We do have iron sharpens iron at here, which is quite strong though, scaling up your left weapon, and so I think that'll be fine. I'm not really looking to dig for any of those like vehicle-based things. We're not guaranteed to keep submarine at this point. All right, up next though, we got plenty of money. Let's go into Midsworth, selling those large items. Maybe they'll turn up. Not opposed to picking up something like Cannonball. To put the like cannonball onto double barrel and then maybe a bolas in place of the silencer, so we can snatch that up. We'll get the shoe blade since we have the iron sharpens iron. Just get all of these cheap weapons whenever we can. The powder flask to fuel the double barrel is quite good as well. Real question here though with the crow's nest. I don't think that we're going to use it. It does give me a point to like stop and chit chat. I haven't been the hugest fan of the crow's nest in this patch. I've really started to kind of dig in with using Vanessa's amulet, whatever it's called, like the 1 hex thing that gives 10% crit across the board, because it lets you get more item activations in, right? Something like Crow's Nest just does not work well with Trebuchet, because you want to get as many activations as you can, and Crow's Nest never activates. And so fitting something in like Vanessa's amulet, and then getting like a scaling crit, and then a rando thing like improvised weaponry, and then fitting in something like Star Chart that gives crit. Like, you have a lot of ways to pick up crit that aren't Crow's Nest. And I'm not the hugest fan of having this in. Like, if I have Crow's Nest, it's because I want it for the lifesteal, and then the crit is incidental, and not so much just taking this to go 100% crit anymore. And so we could still look to pick it up. We have a fair amount of money here. We could sell this magic carpet. We're not going to use it. Get that extra bit of money on the round anyways. We'll just take the Crow's Nest just in case. Like, I'm just not envisioning the scenario where we want to get the Crow's Nest online. All right, moving forward, though, into the mountain pass. I'll take this pretty much every single time. We should be able to beat just about everything and escort the convoy. Unfortunately, just 1 experience, and now up to battle with Vanessa. And so, like, we definitely want our double barrel to the left so that it gets the ammo stash. We could powder flask. Like, I think if we were up against Pygmalion, we would definitely want Powder Flask. If we were up against Dooley, maybe. But I guess if we're going to be real, these other items are kind of shitty, right? What I would like to do here is probably take Silencer out, Powder Flask out, put Cannonball in, and then put in something like Bolus. But like Revolver Bronze does so little damage, Bronze Shoeblade does so little damage. Getting the extra shots out of Powder Flask are probably about as good as we're going to get here. I think I actually want to put the Silencer over on the double barrel as well. But this kind of idea is why I wasn't opposed to picking up Crow's Nest, right? We could very easily say, put Crow's Nest in, replace the spaces with Trebuchet with like something that passes out haste, or we could do like Cannonball and Weapon Destroyer or something, and then have the lifesteal on the double barrel. And so there's definitely options we can get with that Crow's Nest. We're just not there yet. We don't have the we don't have the tools to make that work. All right, what do we got here? Bunch of scaling shields. Thought we were supposed to be done with this shit, right? Thought we were supposed to be done. I think we're going to be a little bit too slow to beat the barrel. Like, if we had another burn item, it might be okay. Yes, at the end of the day, it feels pretty weak. We need we need more crit. Right, we like would want to be picking up the scaling damage coming out of the crit thing that we have, whatever it's called, the scaling damage off of improvised weaponry. Ugh, brutal. Submarines is not doing it today. Alright, what do we got now? We'd love to take gold tier items, but we don't really have any money. So let's just go to the lost crate. Get them dollars, get them experience. What do we got now? Ammo for the double barrel? I really like picking these up. Lets us perhaps get away from using gunpowder. And then if we end up in the space to where we have like a hasted double barrel with a very low cooldown, it's hard for things like Powder Flask to keep up. So that's kind of nice. I guess we can dig into non-weapon items here. Some of this stuff sounds not terrible. Barrel of Fun, just our our nemesis on the day. Here's the star chart. Definitely want the star chart, even if it's just for the opportunities at the docks. Gonna be glad to have it. It's probably just outright better than Powder Flask Silencer at this point as well. And so want to add that in. I'm a little interested in the Harpoon. Like, we could get close to the money. I'm envisioning us to be like this at the moment. And so if we do want to switch over to using Crow's Nest with the double barrel, then we have access to the Harpoon.
I'm so glad we could share
All right.
this experience.
See how it goes. All right, so what's up next? Not a super strong round. Probably just take the Sabertooth here. Does still have some useful stuff for us. We're never going to take the poison out of the Gorgon Noble, and we probably just lose to Flame Juggler at this point. And so, what a bummer of a day. Just being like, I guess we lose to the mid-tier PvE round. Ugh. Taken way too long to get these wins. I'm not certain why it's going so poorly. Like, the Trebuchet Submarine are kind of slow. Like, we should just be taking these rounds down so much faster. But the PvE round turns up again. See if we can't get the victory here. What do we got? Getting aggressive would be fantastic. When you use a weapon, give it 4% crit. Our our double barrels run out. I gotta I gotta sit here and watch him scale with these obsidian fangs and us being unable to take him down. Oh, this is so bad. This is so bad. Jesus Christ. Okay. Oof. Pick up the claws. Now we got a big deal here, right? Upgraded silver tier or lower item. I need to look up what the Trebuchet upgrades to. If it doesn't upgrade to like cooldown reduction, then it's just not going to work. Let me see. All right, so I've got it pulled up. Yeah, you can see in here. I don't know if you're familiar with the Bazaar site, but the cooldown is flat at 10. I thought that the way that this worked now is I knew that the damage had changed. The damage used to be like flat 50, but now it's at 25, 50, 75, 100. I think the burn was at a flat 6 as well. And so if we take the upgrade onto Trebuchet, it's going to pick up 25 damage and then 2 burn. But I thought that the way that Trebuchet worked was that the cooldown was at 10, then 9, and then 8. So it kind of functioned like this from bronze across the board. And so it's fairly weak out here. I'm not super excited about upgrading it here. I'm a little bit more interested in just like loading up the star chart. But like the downside to upgrading star chart is we're never going to really fit it in with this stuff. And so I think what happens if we look to upgrade the star chart, then we're probably going to look to pull both the Trebuchet and the submarine and then do like crow's nest and boat, big boat, whatever big boat's called, flagship. And so it's a little bit awkward with flagship. No, it's not. We have 3 of the 4, right? We have ammo, tool, and then it would be crow's nest for the crit, but also giving us the property. I think that's it. I'm just having a hard time really believing that we're going to continue on with these items. I didn't realize how bad they were this patch, and so let's do this. Yeah, I think we upgrade the star chart. Gives us that crit, gives us that cooldown. I kind of feel like our build should look something like this at this point, where we just take crow's nest out, sell some of this nonsense. And then we could still fit silencer in. If you're not familiar with how silencer works, you can just put it out here for the cooldown reduction because we only have 1 weapon, right? So we have a 2.3 second double barrel. If we put silencer in, it drops to 2. We could also look to maybe just put powder flask in. So if we're not killing the opponent with the 5 shots out of the double barrel, then we at least get to recover a little bit. I think this is okay. I mean, it just feels so much better than what we were doing previously. Now we have the star chart so we can work as a navigator. Whew, boy. All right. Got about 50% crit on the double barrel. At least moving over to the double barrel like this does make these left eye, right eye kind of items stack. And so we get a bit of usage out of that. Just got to see how fast we are. This guy's doing damage back at us. We should be pretty strong this round. He doesn't have brick buddy. We've managed to slow our double barrel, which sucks quite a bit. But he seems to be struggling to fight through the lifesteal, but he is scaling up with his red ray out here. Still just not dealing nearly enough damage, even with the crits coming in with the double barrel. Finally got some more. It needs to just be like critting every single time. Holy shit, we pulled this back up right at the end. Those crits finally started to land. You can see the damage scale up on the double barrel. Whew, I thought this was done. I thought we were completely donezos here, but recovering a little. Just a little. Alright, see what's up. Got medium and large items out of Barkham here. Maybe sell some of this small stuff. Not going to try and dig with shovels and rods. So nothing really turned up here. I'm not opposed to adding in something like Lockbox, just pulling out the harpoon, but it strikes me as a little weak at the moment.
I can feel my leaves falling.
All right, so what's up next? We can jump into the docks. Non-weapon items, I guess, isn't terrible, but I'm going to take the guaranteed good stuff and the experience point. Now, who are we up against here? We can come and get the crook out of the zookeeper. Nah, we'll fight the trash monster. I don't completely envision us ever switching over to one of these items, but maybe you just land on the powder keg build, right? All right, there's the finishing blow from the double barrel.
Pathetic, as spineless as a jellyfish.
All right, so what do we got here? Gold skills, crit skills, or burn skills? We just got to get these crit skills, right? That's all we've said the entirety of this game is I need more crit, I need more crit, I need more crit. And so let's see if we can find something in here. Left eye, not spectacular. I mean, I want to dig for an inexorable thing. It didn't turn up. So we can at least pick up right eye for the same thing, getting that 8% crit. Was looking for the one that gives you the scaling crit. So each fight that you go to, it gets like +2 crit and adds up across the course of the game. Really helps in getting that that double barrel up and online. But we got a chance for more PvE rounds. Let's just escort the convoy. Cosmic Rock has a lot of potential to be good. If you spike this Cosmic Wind when you crit haste an item, that would be pretty spectacular with our double barrel out here. But even if we don't land on it, hitting these cooldown reduction feathers is pretty good. He's got that crit, the other crit skill as well. So about half of this stuff is reasonable. Whew. All right, victory.
See
Give us
that
something
flag?
cool. Some dumbass healing item. That's not cool. Come on, my dude. Come on, my dude. So what do we got? Ammo, skill upgrades, or max health? I guess we'll take the skill upgrades. I'm not opposed to jumping into, like, Colt. Has a bunch of items that we can sell for iron sharpens iron and get the potential to upgrade the double barrel. Maybe that's just the way to go about it. So many of these are good. Like, ammo stash upgrade would be good. Iron sharpens iron. Like, our skills are too good to pass on here, I think. So we landed on both. Improvised weaponry. It's like, do you want the short term, the improvised weaponry is good right now, or the iron sharpens iron is going to be good longer over the course of the game? I think we probably just have to get good now. So we'll take the improvised weaponry, right? We're about to fall out in terms of death. we're about to unlock death over here, and so I think that we gotta just try and get good now. See if we can't push this shit show of a run up to 7 wins.
Underestimate me. It makes this more fun.
You just come out and forget those. This guy doing a bunch of freeze stuff? He has a bunch of freeze skills. Another brick buddy around? Fuck me. Getting savaged by the brick buddy. Really starting to see that decent scaling on our double barrel, but just too little too late. Tired of seeing these fucking brick buddies every single round. I feel like in my previous 3 runs, I maybe saw like a brick buddy or a barrel in like maybe like 10%, 15% of the runs, but it's been every run this game. All right, PvE round, miss, only get the experience point. What's up next? Silver tier loot, or 6 gold for weapons. We'll take the loot. I would love to find shrapnel. Cinders might be okay later. Picking up ammo, cooldown reduction, just so many good ones that we can spike out of that. Here with the small items, not super interested. We'll just take the experience point at the dock. We'll eventually find a shop to spend all this money at, right? And we can battle the Cosmic Rock. We fought this earlier, definitely won. He has a lot of these good things out here, the cooldown reduction, the haste on crit, all of that fun stuff. Ooh. I'm interested to see. I saw that the plan to update the MMR system is supposed to come out in February. It's probably about 2 weeks away. I still have no idea how the MMR system works in this game. It's like you're just supposed to get like 10-0 every round. And if you manage to go 10-0, then you go up. It's like I've had so many of these runs to where it has to be factoring in like your wins and losses. And so there's a difference between going 10-0 and going 10-6. Because I've had so many runs to where it's like, oh, cool, I'm into the final battle and lost. I went like 9-4 and I get plus 40 MMR. And then it's like I'll go like 10-2 and pick up like 110. And then I'll have a run to where I only get 6 wins and lose like 80. And it's like I have no idea how people are actually climbing. I haven't gone out there and tried to ask the world about it, but it seems like you have to just be spiking those huge wins, or it's just not a possibility anymore. I'm not super worried about it, but it would be interesting to know. Alright, though, we got plenty of money here. I'm going to take these things that cost 8 gold. Just keep upgrading that iron sharpens iron. I feel like the 16 gold ones are a little bit too expensive. A bit of a bummer at the medium item shop, not finding any upgrades across the board, but this kind of is what it is. And now a very interesting upgrade here. We're going to be taking the crit, the deadly, but we have 2 options to put it on, right? We could put deadly on the double barrel so that it gets that 50% crit, taking it up to 100, or you can put the crit onto Crow's Nest so that when you crit, your things deal double damage. And so, like, I think that it's worth a pause to reflect, right? We do want to be critting 100% of the time, so we're getting the bonuses off of improvised weaponry, but if we could just survive like another couple of days and hit like 1 more crit bonus or something, even getting like an upgrade to Crow's Nest would get the double barrel up to 75%, like 1 more item, 1 upgrade gets us pretty close to critting almost every single time, and we're definitely just going to want the crit effects at that point. And so probably just upgrade the Crow's Nest, get that big damage coming in. A real blessing having that thing turn up, blessing us out here, right? Your weapons have double crit damage. Looks good to me. So now I guess we'll take the non-weapon items. Maybe we can upgrade some of this nonsense. If we get Chum, do we get the Piranha and have that count as an upgrade? We're at 56 damage on the double barrel. We're at 56 damage on the double barrel. Didn't do anything. That's okay. It sells for free. Up next, get the upgrade to Powder Flask. Very important at this point. We were running out of attacks on the double barrel. So getting that 2 ammo back is pretty important. I was curious, though. I've been hanging on to the cannonball. Like, we do have the opportunity to say only put the cooldown reduction onto the star chart, but then get multiple activations out of the harpoon. I think if we had an upgraded harpoon, I would be a little bit more interested in this. But it's not super critical at this point. It's not something we even want in our final build. All right. Up against Vanessa.
I'm a bit of a legend on Pelago. My fight isn't with you, but if you insist.
It's got the crescendo up here. Very scary seeing the building crescendo. They changed it to where your items have 100% less instead of 50% less, but it's still exceptionally good. He didn't get the memo though. The the Trebuchet feels fairly shitty in this patch. We didn't get the memo either. We got a lesson on it. We got a lesson about 10 minutes ago that the Trebuchet's hurting. Okay. Feels good to win some rounds. Really lift the spirits.
No sale.
So we'll jump into the medium item shop. 4 gold we'll take. The 16s we'll pass on. Otherwise, just looking for double barrel.
Maybe if we
Get the katana. Can get the shovel.
I like the exercise.
Let's get those bonuses up onto the double barrel. All right, what's up next? Ooh, interesting shop. Either the haste item shop or the +2 experience. I think I'm going to dive into the haste item shop. That feels like all that we're really missing at this point. Missed on the first go around. Astrolabe doesn't hit weapons. Real bummer. Just being able to take Harpoon out to get haste onto the double barrel frequently would be so good. Even if it means just using like Sextant and putting it out here, not giving crit to anything, just delivering haste to the double barrel, I wouldn't completely hate. But I guess we might be a little bit grindier than I'm giving ourselves credit for. Other thing to note here is the Infernal Frigate has incendiary rounds. Incendiary rounds, they changed in the previous patch to be like a cooldown burn item that sucked. They've reverted it back, and so it gives you the bonus ammo, and then it does burn damage on hit. I'm a little interested in the burn damage. We still hung on to cinders. They'll turn up again later. And then we could potentially just remove the powder flask, put the extra bonus on the harpoon. It's probably just too greedy, though. Too greedy to take the ammo flask away from our double barrel. Especially if we manage to get haste onto it. Third time we fought this dumb bird. Get this dumb bird out of here. It reminds me, we had this cat we called Small Cat. We'll take an aside here to talk about Small Cat. It was my wife's fault. It was like she started to hear a cat in her house, and so it was like if she was around like the garage or a certain portion of the house, she would hear a cat, and like we eventually like found it. It wasn't in the house, it wasn't in the garage, it was in like the shed out back, and so got it out of the shed, filled up the hole where it came in, whatever. But I told my wife, I knew that she was going to feed it, and I said, you can't feed it. If you feed it, it's going to come back. As soon as you feed it, it's going to be your cat, and you're going to have to take care of that cat. It's never going to go away once you put a bowl of food out. And she says, oh, okay, whatever, I'm not going to do it. And then, of course, she puts a bowl of food out, and then that became my cat, my responsibility. And so I had to, I didn't have to, it's just I'm a wonderful cat owner. I got like this kitty house for it, and so it would like hang out in the backyard, and it didn't need food. It just ate animals. But we still put food out for it. We had like the little kitty house in case it got cold. But speaking of big dumb bird, it reminded me of all the dumb birds the thing would like catch, and then it just like puts on display for you, right? That's what cats do. They go say, hey human, you're a shitty hunter. I'm going to kill this animal and leave the carcass for you because you're so shitty at hunting. And it would just bring birds and snakes and chipmunks, and it never just like carcasses. And so speaking of big dumb birds, it just reminded me of like shoveling birds into the neighbor's yard. That's essentially what I did. They had this kind of like bushes across the fence line, and nobody really liked the neighbors anyways. And so whenever one of those carcasses would turn up, I had to get a BB gun to shoot them if they were still alive, and then take it and shovel it into the neighbor's yard. Getting those big dumb birds out of here. I miss Small Cat. She was such a delightful little thing. She was fucking cross-eyed, and so she'd come up and look at you, one eye straight ahead, one eye going at a diagonal. Still wonderful hunter. I hope she's doing good. We moved, and so we had to move with Small Cat, and then or couldn't move with Small Cat, and so I found a farm cat program or a barn cat program to where they put them in a barn to eat mice and shit. I assume she's out there living her best life, just snacking on those little mice every day. They probably ran out of fucking mice, and so, whew, good old Small Cat. But all right, what are we going to do here? I haven't seen this one. Loaded Fury. Your items have 2 damage for each ammo item you have in play. No, thank you. We'll just take the Inexorable here. This is the one we made mention of earlier. It sucks to kind of pick this up on day 8 instead of like day 4. You miss out on a fair amount of crit with that. But, you know, if we're getting 10, 20% crit out of the Inexorable, I think that's going to be fine because these other items just aren't going to work. And, you know, we don't need to be at 100% on double barrel. It would be nice if we were. But as close to 100% as we can, it'll be fine. Now jumping in on item upgrades, we got to sell a bunch of shit. We don't want to risk having like Silencer be our upgrade for the round, and so let's sell everything that's not actively on the board, and so that we can hopefully get 2 item upgrades out of the round here. So Powder Flask Double Barrel, not bad. It's a 40 damage onto the double barrel. Gotta dig that. And now skill upgrades. I don't hate it. Upgrading essentially any of these would be fine. I'm a little most interested in, say, improvised weaponry. Just get us that scaling damage coming in. Like we have so many more angles of getting additional crit onto double barrel, right? Just getting an upgrade to Crow's Nest gets us pretty much as close as we need to be. But getting that damage on it's going to be a little bit more challenging to find.
But I've seen my share of storms.
Whew. He's got a bunch of haste stuff up here. He's got the bird thing and the oceanic rush. Let's see if we can't get out in front of this. Blew up his obsidian gun knife, whatever you call those things. Brilliant invention. Let's attach a gun to a bayonet. It's called bayonet, right? Let's attach a knife to the end of a gun. Because what I want to happen is get together a group of my buddies, be running around in wartime, just fall down with a knife on my gun, poke one of my friends. Doesn't seem too wonderful to me. All right, what's up next though? Medium items. I think we can still afford all this stuff. Getting too expensive just to take a sniper rifle. Do they ever just take a sniper rifle? We're probably too invested in double barrel at this point. It just not in the item itself, but having things like improvised weaponry works great with double barrel. Doesn't really work with sniper rifles. So we'll skip past that. Might be a bit greedy to take a musket here. It's like if we find an upgrade to Star Chart, it's going to cost 16. We're only at 23 gold. Let's get past that.
Real friendly guy.
All right, next set. What's up? Nothing too exciting. We'll go to the Artisan of the Dunes, get the damage upgrade onto the double barrel.
See that mountain? That's Poe.
All right, who's around now? So interesting stuff here. Blood Reef Captain does have Crow's Nest, but his Crow's Nest is gold, and so we can't get that as an upgrade. He's not going to be too much of a win otherwise. Elite Duelists, I don't think we want anything from, though. Then the Roaming Isles, just one experience point here. So we'll take the Blood Reef Captain. I don't envision that we ever switch to using Flagship, but Captain's Wheel could be interesting. Could be better than Harpoon, even putting bad hastes on the double barrel.
Oh, I am a long way from Palago.
What you got for us? Interesting. If you have 4 or fewer items in play, your weapons have 25 damage. And so it's probably better to just take out Harpoon at this point, right? Just get that 25 damage on the double barrel. Let's see how this plays out. Poison thing, whatever. So we got weapons, digs, or tools. We can take the weapons, I guess. They're getting to be just too expensive, right? It's not a completely dead shop in the sense that going to the shop just to find double barrel is a joke. Like, it's so tough to find, but the kind of backup plan here is we're going to be getting 6, 8, 10 damage on our double barrel with the iron sharpens iron. Compared to the dig site, where I don't think we're ever really finding anything. Like, I'm pretty happy with our board here. Replacing Harpoon would be nice, but it's such a random shop. All right, gold items. What do you got? Again, like, I'm a little interested in getting rid of the Harpoon. Right, just like this, putting that damage on the double barrel has to be stronger. Chimera, not super interested in. Lang Zhang, not super interested in. Okay, all too expensive. Didn't find any upgrades for our 3 gold items. So this is just the way we do it, right? We don't, we don't even bother to put the Harpoon in. Like, I don't know, if the Harpoon was gold and hit in 4 seconds minus 20%, so if it hit in 3 seconds, that would be fine. Or if it had like 2 or 3 charges, it would be fine. Just getting one item 6 seconds into the fight doesn't feel worth like the 25 damage out of the double barrel.
My fight isn't with you, but if you insist.
The decision is going to be is just do we add in the second weapon, right? Which we probably want to. It's like we lose out on the lifesteal, but we should be killing these people so fast that the lifesteal doesn't particularly matter. See how many activations we get to here with the double barrel. I think it was like 7. Take a look at that recap. 6 activations, 12 because of the multi-shot, and so we would have ran out of ammo for the last shot, but we would ideally be picking up a second weapon that would have covered that 900 damage or so. Maybe. We'll see. All right, what do we got? Running a little bit low on money. Let's skip the non-weapon items at this point. Would love to update Crow's Nest, but it's going to be harder and harder to do as the game progresses. What's up next? Risk some coin. Get those experience points. So yeah, upgrade an item. This is a tough spot, right? In the sense that I'd love to take double barrel or star chart up, but if we never upgrade Crow's Nest, like finding a bronze Crow's Nest on day 10 is going to be really challenging to do. And so I think that upgrade is okay. It still gives us that extra crit bonus onto the double barrel that we're looking for. So I think that's a reasonable upgrade here. In this next set, we can beat Void Golem, right? That's Caltrops guy. I wonder if Caltrops is ever good in our build. Don't hit something good. Appreciate it. We got a real collection of items that would be a pain in the dick to lose here. No, we're not winning this round. Oh, we're so close. One more shot, we might have been able to do it.
It's just one battle.
Dang.
Plenty more coming.
I wonder. Oh boy, another upgrade. I wonder with that round if we could have put another item in, expecting it to get destroyed, so that we could then still have the 4 items for the heavy firepower. Interesting. But with this, we spiked another upgrade. I think we just want to upgrade the Crow's Nest, get everything to gold. They should be upgradable in the shops from this point forward. Makes the shops just like a little bit more appealing to me. Also gets our double barrel up to that 100% crit.
Let's get those bugs hammered out. Now this will
Still can be
inspire the
relevant, right?
crew.
If we find something like a swashbuckle, the amount of crit in there is definitely relevant. All right, next set though, I think we'll just get a friend. I'd like to collect the money. Not super interested in chocolate bars with this build. We have enough health with just the life gain out of the double barrel. Get that guy out of here. Keep this keep this nice 8 hex board up and running out here. Ooh. We're gonna get one shot by the sniper rifle? Fuck. We don't have any shield gain. Yeah, negative 500 off of that shot. I was very curious if we were gonna end in a space to where those chocolate bars would have saved us. All right, what's up next though? We got the gorge. Like I don't want to put shield on double barrel. I was really hoping that we would come across haste. Haste would be the big one to find here. Let me see what is this star chart? What it does with the start of each fight, shield 120, kind of shitty. What's the ammo flask do? I don't know what it's called. Powder flask. What do you do? Shield 20? None of those are particularly good, and so I guess we can just go ahead and put the shields onto double barrel, and then if we come across something better, you know, we can replace it.
I'm on the
Like,
edge
I guess
of the
even if we do come across haste, putting haste on star chart hastes your items at the start of the battle, which would be pretty reasonable with the double barrel, and so I don't hate it.
Nothing tiny, nothing huge.
All right, what do we got in here though? Only 16 gold. Can't get too aggressive with this stuff. Not interested in any of those. I guess we'll take the katana to resell.
And I'll trot it to your door.
Ooh, okay, okay. Gotta watch the money at this point. We'll take the regen because it's free, and then we can take the diamond tier skills. Gonna be looking for double damage.
At last.
What's this one? Fall below half health, double the damage of your leftmost weapon. Don't hate it. I was looking for the one that makes both players' weapons deal double damage. Like, double down is pretty decent with only the single item. Alright, we'll try it.
You are a quick study.
We'll try it. Back to the Void Golem. Okay, I'm on board. We'll fuck him up this time. We got... God damn it. God damn it. Maybe we won't fuck him up this time. Like, I thought we were so prepared for this. Like, the shields make the caltrops survivable. As long as he didn't hit our double barrel, we would have been fine. God damn it. We even chit-chatted about putting the extra item in just to get it blown up and didn't even bother doing it. This is like I autopiloted that one. I knew as soon as I saw it, I was like, yep, we can beat this, and then and then we got fucked. All right. Next set, we'll take the boost, get the damage on the weapon. Bummer. What's up next? Monster Ranch should be pretty good at this stage, and we need the money. So getting experience, 2 experience is good. 2 ammo. It's getting us so close to that point to where we can just put in another item. Like, I guess one of the perks of having shield on the double barrel is it does give us sort of life steal out of it, right? We're shielding all of that damage that it would be doing. But it starts to be like this if we just drop this to 7. Man, it's just the thing that's with this point is if we were on day 11 and had like 8 or 9 wins, I think that we could take the risk on just having double barrel out here naked with no way to restore the ammo and then just blow up the opponents with the amount of damage that we're doing here. But like our ability to just like run into Pygmalin and have to deal 15k damage, we can't do that if we don't have a way to restore the ammo on this thing. And so I think that we're just kind of stuck at this point until maybe like there's the skill that lets you restore an ammo when you crit with another item. Like maybe that turns up and we're kind of okay. Or I guess the other thing we could look to do here is take gunpowder and then go back to putting harpoon back in. I know it sucks with that 8-second cooldown. Maybe the play with harpoon is just to sell it. Otherwise, I'm just looking at 2 EXP. We're about to fight the player. Let's do this. I'm gonna sell harpoon. I'm gonna pick up gunpowder. I'm gonna look to pick up a different harpoon on the future round, and then we'll play it like this. Like nothing out of that set of loot items was gonna upgrade anything that we have, and so let's just play to the next round with it. What is this nonsense? Getting burnt down quite a bit. Seems like we're doing okay. That burn's about to really start scaling though. Need that like one good hit when we fall under half health. Nope, didn't get there. We got we got the 528 damage, but the hit didn't land.
Read the tides and listen to the wind. They will guide your strikes.
So, all right, interesting round. I mean, not great in the sense that we didn't get that far in terms of wins, but I feel like that was a fairly eye-opening adventure in the sense that, you know, I think in the previous patch, like if you looked at that previous patch and you went down this path of starting off with double barrel trebuchet submarine, you'd be like, all right, I'm kind of off to the races here, right? I can kind of fill in with a cannon, or I can add in a captain's wheel or a star chart or something, and really get this trebuchet up and running. But man, that 8-second cooldown on trebuchet is fucking brutal. I was pretty certain that, again, like I thought that the cooldown on trebuchet reduced, and it doesn't. And so that makes like a real difference in the sense of being like, okay, well, I've got this upgraded to diamond. I have an 8-second cooldown item. I need a handful of weapon activations to make this pop, and then like if I put a star chart next to it, or if I haste it or something, like it should be activating pretty quick. But having it out in the early game like that was just like way too off. That needs to be like one of the last items you're adding to the build, and it can't really just be that supplemental item early, right? If you want to look at it and be like, okay, well, you know, I naturally drop down the cooldown from 8 to 7 with feathers, and then I drop it from say 7 to 5.5 with a cooldown reduction item, and then it gets hasted. And like at that point, when you have all of that stuff built into the trebuchet, it seems like something that you could, you know, definitely use going into the late game and have be like a big finale type item. But having it just be like a general item, it just takes up way too much space and doesn't do enough. And so without having access to, I think probably Captain's Wheel, I think you probably have to have Captain's Wheel, and then you can make it work. And then with Trebuchet, the things where it would be useful is, say, like in the previous patch, to where you could Trebuchet, Captain's Wheel, electric eels, and something else, usually like a double barrel. That build, you know, might still work. It does take like a big nerf hit in the sense that electric eels got its charge ability nerfed a bit. I think it went from 2 seconds to 1 second, so it's not activating nearly as often. But that style of thing is probably what you have to do with Trebuchet now. This was this early game with it was just complete and utter garbage. It was no good. And the submarine pairing with it didn't work out either. And so I think the big takeaways from this are Trebuchet, don't completely write it off, but it seems to me like it's going to be probably a mid-game transition to where you start off with like an ammo-based double barrel build, or like just a big weapons build or something, and then you convert over to Trebuchet. It's not something that you can take on day, well, I guess you can't get a large item on day 1, but it's not an item you can get on like day 2, day 3 now and start using. You need to be like day 6, day 7 before the Trebuchet really comes in and pops off. The submarine, I don't think the submarine, it's very chicken and egg with the submarine. The submarine, we'd be talking a different story if we had that skill that gives you 10% crit when you use it. It's just like so expensive to have to sit on that. And so that was something that I was hoping to get going early. I felt like the fast acting on the submarine, along with the trebuchet activations there, and then giving crit to everything, had a lot of potential to really scale up. But we lost like 6 rounds in a row with that idea, and just got completely smashed with it. And so while those weren't successes here, hopefully those are pretty good learning moments for you. Last but not least, I have been having quite a bit of success this patch with double barrels, be it more kind of like go wide double barrel builds, single item double barrel builds. It's still quite good. The only lacking point with our build here today was we didn't have a haste item to go with it. Having haste is ultimately super important for double barrel to get enough shots off. You really want it to be activating every second and a half or so. To really pop off and get it scaling before your opponent come out and brick buddies you or whatever. But still fairly strong. This build here, you know, it's interesting just stopping with the 4 items. I think we probably should have sold that harpoon earlier and then circled back to it. Having the 25 damage from heavy firepower in this build, it's probably not worth it just putting the 25 damage onto 1 item. But if you're on like a 4 item build, right, if you're on say trebuchet, double barrel, 2 other items to where it's going on to 4 things, or if you're on some kind of double barrel and flagship build, then that could be a thing as well. But it was kind of memey here at the end of the day when this build had already gone to shit. But I don't recommend just hanging out with these 4 items solely for the purpose of heavy firepower. But worth noting, you don't have to have a full board if you didn't already know that. Ooh, and so good stuff. I had fun with that. Hope you did too. Is that is going to do it for us today. Hope everyone enjoyed the video. Hope you learned a thing or two along the way. You had a good time watching. This is Bust and we thank you for being here.